So good morning. We had as everybody's aware, we had a fire come in about 6:10, 6:15 this morning at the former William Penn campus in North Harrisburg. Upon our arrival, we had heavy smoke coming from the building with actually fire coming through the roof. This portion of the building was different than the last several fires we had, and this is the northern part of the building, which functioned as the auto mechanics repair shop and paint booth area. So a pretty significant amount of combustibles in there. Unfortunately, due to the stability of the roof, we started seeing sagging in the roof right away, so we could not put our troops inside to protect them in the event that the roof did come in. So we're still up there mopping up some hot spots. There's a mezzanine built into the into this auto mechanics area, and there's still some things smoldering up there. It's been a really difficult fire to finally put out. Again, lots of stuff up there that's burning, and the portion of the building where it is, we had some water supply issues early on. We had to lay about 3,000 feet of 5-inch hose to get enough water to supply the fire trucks to put water on the fire. So that was a long, drawn-out event. And earlier, a couple of you were there. My frustrations with this building, the school district has done everything that they can to keep people out. The problem is our nefarious residents want to keep going into this building and wreaking havoc on the fire department and the neighbors. Today we don't have school because of the acts of one or several individuals wanting to have a joy fire that could have killed somebody. And it's extremely frustrating to us, and we're tired of it. And we're calling on the community. If you know these kids that are going in there, please call out to the Harrisburg Police Department so we can bring them in and talk to them before somebody ends up getting killed. I don't want to be pulling anybody out of that building in a body bag, which is where we're headed eventually here. After that, I'll take any questions. Mr. Turman's here, Superintendent of the School District, for questions that you may have. Go ahead.
How long did it take for us to get the fire under control?
It was about a 2.5 hour firefight, just because of the deep-seated fire and all the materials that were in there. They're still up there mopping up hot spots as we speak.
Is the building a total loss?
This portion of the building, the roof is coming in on it. It is a pretty significant fire in this particular portion of the building. Luckily, there's walls that prevented it from going into the main hallways and main areas of the larger building of the school.
I'm sorry, where did you say in the school it started?
So it's on the northern end of the school towards Graham Street, on the backside by the football field.
Maybe this is more so a question for Superintendent Turman, but I just kind of want to know, where do we go from here? Obviously, you guys are in the process of trying to figure out what to do with this building. This isn't the first time we've had one of these incidents. I mean, what kind of incidents, might just be early to tell, but what the future holds at this point?
Yeah, so yes, great.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you my thoughts, and then I'm going to let Mr. Turman talk on where we need to go. And I'm going to have a conversation later today with Dr. Susky, who I think has been doing a phenomenal job of trying to lock the building down. Locking the building down just isn't working. We need to do an emergency declaration. We need to clean the building out. We get rid of the combustible materials that's in the building, we can no longer have fires. You can't set a brick wall on fire. And there's just literally thousands of tons of debris inside of that building that need to be taken out. We get that done through an emergency order. I believe that we eliminate the potential for any death or injury further from the William Penn campus.
So good morning. To just take that and kind of explain from a district standpoint, for the past 2 months we've been working with a task force to determine what some of the next steps will be with William Penn. There was a vote that was taken on Thursday not to demolish the building, but B, we did talk about some potential next steps. So we have talked about being able to deal with the asbestos. We know that's an issue that's in the building. B, dealing at this point in time with, as Chief Enterline said, having somebody come in and clean that entire building out. And then the last part to that would be, how are we going to seal up the building so we don't continue to have some of these issues? So that was discussed last Thursday. We will have some more discussion on that over the next couple of weeks. We have another task force meeting in January. During that time, the administration was tasked with coming up of costs of what it would be to move forward with some of those.
Does this incident change that, to not demolish it at all? Are you guys still going to stay on track and try to save this building, turn it into something else? It's too early to say.
Well, I think at this point in time, we've had, unfortunately, a number of incidents at the building. I do believe, and the task force still believe, we've been working very collaboratively together, and I think we all really want to see something at William Penn, which is going to have a great impact on students and change the trajectory of the city as well.
Why was Camp Curtin closed?
Smoke. So a lot of the smoke was getting into Camp Curtin. And we were very obviously concerned with students and staff being in that building. I did pop over to Camp Curtin just to get a feel for the amount of smoke in the building. We do have a restoration company there to make sure they can remediate the area and get all the smoke out so that we can start school back up again tomorrow.
Can you talk about the type of debris or what is still in the building? Is it school supplies? Is it desks? Is it?
It's a number of things. I've walked through there probably about 4 or 5 times. Broken glass, desk, books, snow blowers. Yeah, there's a lot of items inside the building that, as Chief Enterline said, and I do agree, we need to move forward at some point with removing all that from that building.
This building's been closed for 10 years. Why is all that stuff still in there? That occurred in the district, that would be hazardous?
Can't answer that question. This is my third year there, so I can't answer a question from a building that was shuttered back into. Okay, so last 3 years, what we have been doing at this point in time is we put security staff in that building, around the building to try and help with people trying to enter. So we have made efforts to try and limit anybody coming in and out of the building. It's just gotten to a point now where it's the seriousness of what we have to do with moving things forward.
Are there any working security cameras around the school?
Not at William Penn.
So is there any way to be able to figure out who committed this alleged arson from this morning? How that investigation? Thank you.
I can't speak to that. Chief Enterline, will you be able to speak to that?
Sure. Yeah, there's no cameras in the area, and that's a hindrance to us. And I think that's something else that we're probably going to request is to put some kind of camera system up there to start monitoring better those perimeters. It will be, arson is one of the hardest crimes to prove as is. To really bring a suspect in on this one today is going to be extremely difficult. Not impossible, but extremely difficult.
This whole process of declaring this emergency declaration, is that something that has to go through the city, or how does that all?
That'll be through the school, and that's something Dr. Susky and I will talk about later today, of how we can move forward in an expeditious manner, so that we don't continue having these issues through the winter.
Do you have a rough estimate of how much it's going to cost to repair the building?
No, that is way above what I'm capable of giving you.
Chief, does the Bureau or the city have any kind of tools to finally force the district to secure that building? I mean, people are in it all the time.
So, again, and I agree. It's full of stuff. We've had issues there. About 7-8 years ago, I requested that the district clean it out, and that was never done. I believe that this administration has done a lot better job being cooperative and being forthcoming and doing things. And again, look, the problem is if people want to get in, they're going to get in. And that's the disappointing part. So if they're going to continue to do that, then we need to get the stuff out. And I think that's the next best logical step to really curb what's going on up there. If they're in there spray painting, they're not starting a fire, right? When they got the stuff laying there, all the materials, and there's many spot fires set across the building. Luckily, they just haven't taken off because there's not enough of combustibles in that particular area. And so our focus needs to be to clean the building out.
Can you give a percentage as far as what percentage of the building has sustained heavy damage in this fire?
It's just that it was really contained to that the three. It was just contained to the 3 bays that were the original shop area for auto mechanics.